Welcome to Foreplay Podcast, where we talk about sex
and our butthole,
and the shit that comes out of our asshole,
and wearing people like a sock.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Foreplay Podcast, a safe space for all things sex. Remember, if you're ready for sex, you're ready to talk about it.
Welcome to Foreplay Podcast. We are excited to be here.
Always. We're jacked up.
Yeah, we're off a beat today.
locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Which honestly feels so nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
So today we're talking about different attachment styles. And
That was nice.
see, now we can do it.
So, Emily, why are we doing attachment styles?
Yeah,
today?
tell us a little bit
Doing
about it.
attachment styles because I recently discovered in this new relationship that I'm in, that I had avoidant tendencies that were triggered, and I realized that I was kind of being a dick. Well, I could be. I had the potential to be.
Yeah.
And like mostly secure. But for conversation's sake, avoidant tendencies.
You're like, if I
Nice.
have to stoop down to your level, I guess I'm avoiding.
I guess
Got it.
I can be avoidant. But it was interesting because I wanted to like look more into it, and then in friendships and stuff too, and just like how it works in every relationship. So I'm just like curious to like see what you guys have to say about it.
Oh, it brought up a whole lot of shit.
Yeah?
Oh,
Okay.
it did.
Okay, well, stay tuned because the juicy stuff is coming later.
Yeah. What the fuck?
What is new? Okay, well, I have something new to share.
Okay.
I started playing Quidditch, and I joined a Quidditch team.
Yeah, you did.
I did. So if you don't know what Quidditch is, it's literally the game from Harry Potter. And we have our little like brooms and like we run around and throw balls and
I'm just like
catch the snitch.
amazed.
Oh, I love that.
I think I'm actually wet right now.
Where do you even find shit like that?
Okay, it was super random because my cousin's client told her about it. And then she was like, yeah, you can just come and join the team like whenever. And my cousin was like, yeah, I'll try it. So she went and tried it out, really enjoyed it, and then let me know about it. And she was like, would you want to play with me? And I was like, fuck yeah, like I'm down to fucking do whatever. So I went and I had like such a good time. I scored a goal in my first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone was so fun, and it was super cute at the beginning. We were like doing a little icebreaker thing, and normally I hate icebreakers, but this one was so cute because it was like say your name and then like your pronouns, and it was just like so precious, like everyone getting to know each other. It was a good time.
That's
That
awesome.
sounds very
Team
That is so
bonding.
cool.
Yeah.
Anybody else join a Quidditch team?
I did not.
Really?
But
What?
I know, surprising. You think I would be the most likely to do that.
Mhm.
Although I would love to go.
Yeah.
But okay, my story's a little bit it's crazy. It's a little
Mhm.
bit of a roller coaster. So basically, my stepmom and my dad decided not to get vaccines, which is like teach their own, do whatever you want with your body. But they ended up getting COVID. And when they told me, they were like, oh, it's just a bad flu. We just can't taste, and it's a bad flu. And I was like, oh, okay, like, glad you guys are good. You're idiots, but, like, glad you guys are good.
Yeah.
And then I want to say, like, maybe a week and a half after that, it's my day off, and I get a call. It wakes me up. It's like 9 in the morning, and it's my stepmom. And I'm like, oh, I really don't want to answer this. Like, I'm tired. I want to go back to bed.
Yeah.
But then something in my gut was like, you need to pick up the phone. So I pick it up, and she's like, hey, Maddie, your dad's in the hospital. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And she's like, yeah, he can't breathe. Like, he almost passed out. And I was like, okay, that's fucked up. So I'm already like panicking, thinking he's gonna die.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's not old, but like, he's not young either. And so I was concerned. And then whatever. So she hangs up. She's like, I'll let you know any progress or like anything I hear. I'm like, okay. So I go back to sleep, or I try to go back to sleep because I'm like in my head with my like stupid little anxious brain. I'm like, yep, my dad's gonna die. Like I was already like planning the funeral in my head, and like
Wow.
every time I would like close my eyes to go to sleep, like I was just like seeing like images of his funeral. And so, like, that was, like, a little traumatic because I'm already, like, not in a good headspace. So if that would have happened, like, selfishly enough, like, that wouldn't have been good for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whatever. So she gives me another call, and he had pneumonia in both lungs. And so that I was like, awesome. So now he's actually going to die. Then I get a third phone call, and she's like, he has viral pneumonia. He's going to be fine. He just needs antibiotics.
Wow.
Not like that, but I was like, okay, that was a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, no kidding.
So he goes to the hospital. I don't talk to him for like a day or two after that because he couldn't even like talk. He was so out of breath. He had to be on oxygen. And then I decided to text him, and he was like, yeah, if I had gone to the hospital any later, I would have been dead.
Wow.
Like, that's how bad it was.
Wow.
And I was like, Dad, like, respectfully, you're a fucking idiot. And the next time I see him, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Yeah.
But like, glad you're doing okay. Yeah. And so he's back at home feeling better now, but he dropped like 30 pounds. He looks so different. Like, he dropped so much weight. I was like, but anyways, so yeah, he didn't
Wow.
die. Thought he was gonna die, but he didn't.
Wow.
So
Holy shit.
I'm not telling you to get your vaccine, but like, maybe consider
Think
it.
about it.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Is he gonna get vaccinated now?
Okay, so here's the thing. I asked him. Okay, first I asked him, if you had known, would you have gotten vaccinated? And he was like, yes. And I was like, okay. And I was like, are you going to get vaccinated? And he was like, I have to talk to my doctor. And then he starts talking about how he's immune now. And I was like,
Oh,
Dad?
Jesus.
But
That
he's
man.
not really immune.
No, he's not. That's the
No.
thing that like is infuriating.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You're like, what?
Yeah, he's not immune.
I was like,
My
1 plus
roommates
1
had-
doesn't equal 3.
Yeah, and also my roommates had COVID 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like
Yeah.
you can still get it.
I'm like,
That's so crazy.
I haven't told them this yet, but I just don't. I'm like scared now to go see them because if he got that sick, imagine if I got that sick.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
With, like,
right?
My immune system.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's scary.
Seriously though.
And I'm like, okay, I love you guys, but you have to start thinking about others now if you want to like be around your family.
Oh, definitely. It's such an important factor right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Especially with like Thanksgiving coming up.
Mhm.
I feel like it's gonna spike this weekend for sure.
Oh yeah, they're already talking
Mhm.
about it.
Yep.
We'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
positive vibes.
Positive
Everyone stay
vibes.
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question, because I think I've asked you this before, but no matter if I'm masturbating
Mhm.
or if I'm having sex, the back of my goddamn legs drips sweat. Drips.
Oh,
Even if
okay.
I'm masturbating.
Oh, you want to talk about sweat
Can
now?
Yeah, that's why I wanted your answer. But I like, even if I'm masturbating, I'm it's just weird.
Yeah.
Okay, I only put my hand up because I had an experience last night that I can talk to about this. So, I feel like we're the sweaty bitches of the group.
Mhm.
And I usually sweat, but last night it was like crazy. And I'm like, whatever, legs up, masturbating, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm just like, it was like that. It wasn't just like kind of a buildup. I was just like a layer. And I'm like, am I about to fucking pass out from masturbating right now? And I'm like getting closer and I'm getting sweatier and I'm like getting dizzier and I'm like, I'm actually gonna pass out.
But you're not gonna stop now.
The Wandy's on full 10 and you're like,
The
Literally.
battery's hot.
Yeah.
Like,
Your hand is
Burn.
cramping.
the outlet's sparking.
she faints and it just burns her clit.
No, absolutely not.
Like a toaster in a tub.
Ew.
I feel like the backs of the legs
Yep.
and like
Yeah.
my face.
Yep.
And right my nose.
And my arms and my legs.
And my ass.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
ass.
every pore of my body.
But it's especially you like just move later, and then it's like the wind hits the water, and it's like whoa, that's my body. And then you get up, and there's also like an ass stain on the thing,
Yeah.
or on the couch, wherever you are. It could be a field, it could be your bed, but it's
Yeah.
like a mix of like squirt, pee, and sweat.
We love a good
Yeah.
soup.
What?
Oh, I have an embarrassing
soup.
story.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
let's get into
Yeah.
it.
So I usually masturbate in the bathroom, but I sit on like the bath mat because I don't like. I have a bony ass, so I need to give myself a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit of
Okay.
a layer.
Ooh, cushion.
And so this also was from last night. I masturbated, literally big squirt, far squirt, all over. I clean it up. The next morning, I'm getting ready for work, and I'm like, where the fuck did Gary go?
Nope. No.
I walk into the bathroom. He's like at the ground, like intensely, and I'm like, oh, that's my squirt.
Yeah.
Gary.
I kissed that dog on the mouth.
Yeah, and he's kissed your mouth.
Yeah,
the other
both of
one.
them.
It's just full circle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
my
come
God.
for me, okay?
Dogs
It's okay.
are
You also
so-
wipe his ass.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because he has no tail. There's no protection from like anything in my house and his poopy butt.
It's true. I am gonna have some wild sex tomorrow.
Ooh.
And I haven't, Kate. So my partner and I, we haven't like had our usual like 3-4 hour kind of like sexcapades.
That's
Oh,
insanity.
you know,
wow.
Mhm.
must be a really tough life.
I know.
You know, when you don't orgasm and then immediately pass out. Like,
Well, we're gonna like play some like intimacy games.
yes.
And she came up with like 3 to 5 ways that I want to sensually touch her.
Yeah.
And she's gonna come up with 3 to 5 things to sensually touch me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it'll be a good way to like connect on that because we haven't like really in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes,
So-
it comes in waves, I feel like.
Yeah, and
totally.
honestly, it's just one of those.
Yeah.
And it kind of like is a nice switch up to like plan it and get prepared
Yeah.
for something because then it's not just
Yeah.
like spur of the moment. You're like, no, like we're going hard tonight
Yeah.
and we're all gonna come 10 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Right?
never done that where I like planned
You
for
need
sex.
to.
Okay.
You need to,
Noted.
yeah.
Mhm.
Noted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never been planned. It's usually just a spur of the moment thing. It's maybe like, oh, let's have sex tonight, but that's as far as the planning
Mm.
goes.
Have a little build up. Like
Yeah.
it's fun. Like I've been thinking about it all day.
Like kind of like tease, flirty, like
Yeah.
maybe send a little like lewd or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, maybe I'll send a little pic tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's fun. I'm excited to explore. I brought all of these dildos also for
Yes.
you guys to take home and try because these are the deep fantasy ones.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
On a similar note, my partner and I had sex the other day, but it was like same kind of thing, switching up the pace, completely
Mhm.
different from what we usually do. We did everything but like penetrative sex.
Mm.
And like
Nice.
just like took a lot of time and like it was like a few hours spent. Like it wasn't just
Mhm.
getting to the meat and potatoes, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Which we don't do often. So it was really cool and it was like I feel like I'm reiterating what you're wanting to do. It was
Yeah.
we just reconnected on such a different level. It was like so much more work, but in such a good way.
Wow.
And it was just like, yeah, I like blindfolded him and like used the riding crop on him.
Nice.
So he was like, I'll paint you a picture. Sorry.
Sorry.
He was
yeah, we
sitting
need it.
on the couch and I blindfolded him
Mhm.
and I was like giving him head, like playing with his nipples, and then I would like use the feather tickler, which I had to like kind of make do because I think you have mine.
Oh, I might.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
No, that's okay. I never use it, but it just now came the time. But I had like another one that's to like put dust on your body, and so I just used that one and would either like tickle or like slap a certain part. But I found it was like cool because it's kind of like it was sensory deprivation in the way that he had no sight. So
Mhm.
I would like tap the riding crop where I was gonna hit him first or near to, so it wouldn't be like out of nowhere, like just
shock, yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was more like, okay, this is coming, and then it would happen. And it was just like cool. And it was cool seeing like marks
Aw.
on somebody's skin. It was cool just like making them orgasm and like I don't know, it was just different.
That's awesome.
And then for
Nice.
me, he tied me up and blindfolded me and pretty much did the same fucking thing.
Love that.
And then we just like made each other orgasm and then just like it was great. It
Oh
was
my
so great.
God.
And okay, because you're not really a kissing person, right?
Yeah.
So how was that? Was there
Okay.
lots of kissing? What was that vibe?
It's so interesting because when you like look at the way that I chose to like pleasure him and the way that he chose to pleasure me,
Mhm.
I was kissing him, but I like would rather like kiss your skin and like
Mhm.
you know, like I'd rather kiss your dick than like make out while having sex. It just
Yeah.
like
yeah.
it just like I like think too much and it's weird. I don't know why.
That's fair.
I just, like-
I agree.
and it's almost distracting for me if I like spend all my
There's
time
just like
kissing.
too much going on.
Yeah, like I'm just like kiss my neck or something. Like just let me
Yeah.
focus. You know what I mean?
Let me put in the work.
He very much so like kissed up and down like my entire body, which is really nice, and like just used the vibrator on me and everything too, and like strappy and everything. So that was cool. But it was like I've never just like completely. I'm not really answering your question, but I'm talking about other things. I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
I've never fully like just let go and let somebody else use like a vibrator on me. I always like say fuck it and like do it myself. And like I fully like it was like taking the time, directing each other, like it was
That's
just a different
nice.
pace for once, and it was a really good way to switch things up.
Yeah, I feel like I need to slow down. Or it's not even me that needs to slow down. Just like in general.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's
Just like take a moment.
right,
Get reacquainted with your partner's skin.
right,
Yeah.
You know,
do
like
some co-regulation.
Yeah. I love that. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
yeah.
So, I have decided that I'm not going to start camming again, but I've started doing other things again.
Nice.
Because one, I'm sick of being poor.
It happens.
And
Yep.
it's honestly kind of fun. It's like a great little confidence booster.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that.
Nice.
And I just started the other day, so that's cool. Already made some money.
Ooh.
Nice.
What are you doing if you don't mind sharing? Because you said other things.
Basically I like had a small group of people when I used to cam who would like buy stuff from me regularly.
Yeah.
And they kind of just like stuck around. So I just kind of messaged them. I was like, "Hey, sorry I've been busy. I started school. Yeah, let's go with that."
Yeah.
And then they were all like, "Oh my gosh, like I thought you died." And I was like, "I have been, but it's fine." And yeah, so just kind of like doing like sending them pics or videos, like custom content, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's
That's
fun.
awesome.
Nice.
Just a little extra change.
Yeah.
So recently on TikTok, I've been seeing all of these fucking beautiful human beings like doing thirst traps, but they have like maybe like a scream mask on, or
Yeah.
like maybe I don't know, like something like that.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, "Ugh, this is dumb, this is cheesy." And then you know that thing where it's like you say it enough times as a joke, it becomes reality.
Yeah.
Like, this is dumb, this is stupid, I don't like this. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, wow, I like when people wear masks.
It's like saying daddy ironically, and next thing you know, you're getting hit from the back. Daddy.
I can't take it back. I can't take it back. I don't know what it is. It's not like I want you to cover your face. It's like how you can act differently, like when you're not connected to how you look.
Like the anonymity. Is that the
Yeah.
word?
It
Even
all
if
goes
it's-
back to the marshmallow head.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry,
goes Mike.
Sonia.
Didn't happen.
But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because now I just want to get railed so hard while someone's wearing a scream mask.
Oh
Like
my
I
God.
can't get that vision out of my head.
And my brain is also throwing a knife to the throat, but that's just for
Yeah,
fun.
Yes,
some,
You know?
absolutely.
honestly, some non-consent. That's
Yeah,
really
so I was
nice.
gonna say, so
It
this
is.
is the CNC fantasy.
Yeah.
Have,
But
like
just
once
with, like,
again
a
it
little
rears its ugly head.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm here
Ooh.
for it.
Kind of on that note though, new person that I'm seeing also is like into CNC, so like we'll see where that goes. Like if you
Yes.
so like yeah.
That's so fun.
Yes.
How are you gonna action this fantasy a little bit?
Okay, I'm so glad you asked.
Oh my god, okay.
I don't know if I can actually do this, especially because it's so fucking cold in Edmonton. But like, picture me this: you like make this plan with your partner before you go to a location, maybe a park, somewhere where there's not children, obviously. But you can do a lot of running, and maybe you're just like taking a little stroll, and then they emerge in their mask, and then you start running, and then they catch you, and then
No mystery.
Oh my God.
stop.
Honestly, wet like that. You could.
Literally.
We
I
love
know
some
just the place.
exhibitionism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, do it outside before the snow hits.
He grabs you into the trees.
Yeah.
You could
I
like go
just,
camping and make that happen. Okay, my
Yeah.
only brain thought my only brain cell. You
Yeah.
know what he says?
Uh-huh.
Somebody's gonna call the police if you are running and screaming, and then have
Yeah.
sex subsequently in a park.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah, it has to be like
Try-
only
like
used.
go to a forest.
Yeah.
Like not like a children's park.
Yeah.
No, true. You're just in Horlack Park.
You're just like in the river valley. There's like runners going by.
All the geese just attack you.
Yeah.
You're holding a sign that says "I'm actually okay."
Yeah.
I'm
Consent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's
those
so
dogs
funny.
in the Teslas where it's like I'm listening to my favorite music and the temperature is 62 degrees. It's
Yeah.
like that. Like,
Literally. Don't break my
Yeah.
window.
Oh.
That's so funny. You totally could.
Yeah.
Totally could.
Spooky vibes.
Right?
spooky vibes.
You could even like do it like you could like be walking Gare and you're just walking home and you have headphones in and then suddenly you get a cold chill like there's someone watching you. You know what I mean? Like you can set up the
In
whole
you?
thing.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, just
literally.
replay you. But honestly, Gary can't be there.
No, no.
It's okay, I'll dog sit.
That's
Also, similarly, and this is the last thing I'll say before I shut the hell up. My anniversary is coming up, and so we're considering going out of town and just like getting a hotel room or something, and just like having a night out on the town because that seems to be like one of our favorite ways to spend time together. And two options were kind of like role play at random bar, you know, like
Yes.
strangers, like
Yeah.
And you know, it's so funny. It reminds me of Modern Family.
Yes. I remember that.
Yeah, it's so funny. Or other option is like find somebody together that we want to fuck, or like people together that we want to fuck.
Yeah.
And then orgy, you know? So those are the two
Yes.
options. But meeting stranger
Yeah.
at the bar is definitely going to be CNC vibes.
I love
you know?
that.
Yeah.
I
So we'll see how it
love
goes. I'm excited. I also want to get the apartment cleaned while we're gone, you know? Like just
my
like
God,
oh my
yeah.
pay to clean our apartment,
That's
go off and
perfect.
fuck somewhere, and then come back
Yeah.
and it's perfect.
Yeah.
But
I love that.
that's the vibe.
Oh yeah, you guys could like even pretend that you like are seeing each other for the first time and then also still later that evening
Like it's
meet
like
someone.
a first date that you like
Yeah.
met on like Tinder. or
Oh my god, and
something.
we like are imagine if we keep the fantasy going with the person that
with
we
the
met.
person. Yeah.
Oh my god. That would be quite the story.
Yeah, that would be quite the
You'd
story.
be like, wow, you guys really have a lot of chemistry.
Yeah,
right.
Just met.
Me with an accent. Oi!
Oh my god.
Yeah, we'll see. Keep you posted. Lots of good things coming.
Yeah.
Last thing before we move on, I'm so sorry, but it hit me the other day that we're entering, although it may be one of the hardest times of the year because the days are shorter and it's colder and, you know, like just like death in general, but we're starting that like bam, bam, bam roller coaster, Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthday.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when we go off the hook a little bit.
We
So
do.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
that's
to
true.
enter this phase of our lives again. So
Right.
yeah, welcome home, you know?
Fall vibes
Yeah.
and then also just kind of getting fucked up. I
Yeah.
feel like we haven't had a little bender in a while.
I know.
We've been on the straight and narrow and it's been fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Too
like
many
we're not
breakdowns.
having fun. So
No.
Yay.
I'm sick of being sober.
Yeah.
All right. Ooey gooey. Sticky icky.
Dirty nasty. Center of it all.
Yay.
Center of it all. Looking at attachment styles, what was some of your takeaways looking at attachment styles?
Oh my god. I don't know about you guys, but personally, I literally had the hardest time doing this, and I don't even really understand why. I just every video, every podcast I listened to, I felt like I was like relating to everything and also none at the same time, and I was like, who am I?
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
took a bunch of quizzes and got my answer that I think I'm happy with right now, but it was hard for me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting 2 different answers.
Okay.
And I think I relate to parts of both of them.
Fair.
So
Same thing as you, kind of, G.
Yeah.
I see myself in a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
but like, I feel like was quick to find the one that suits me
Mhm.
best. And I almost like
it's like as soon as you
bend
do,
it
you're
to
like,
suit me.
oh,
Yeah. So
definitely.
we'll see if it's just like me picking it up and self-diagnosing because I know
Yeah.
I've got some sort of like skewed attachment style, but like
Mm-hmm.
the accuracy of it, you know what I mean? I
Mhm.
feel like it's in question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and I feel like for the most part, I don't know. I don't think this is really naive of us to say, but like just the fact that we are really open in our relationships
Yeah.
and like we have really great communication with our partners because we're also like opening that up to other people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like part of that has to be pretty secure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know?
I
So I think like part of us all are secure
Mhm.
and then just like the different tendencies like
Mhm.
because there's avoidant, and I think avoidant like childhood kind of stuff was more like task oriented love,
Mhm.
whereas like more anxious was like your parents were just like there and then not there.
Yeah.
And you're always like anxious for like when is that love coming back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then secure is kind of like a balance of
Yeah.
you know.
Then there's fearful too.
Yes.
Which is like more likely if you had abusive parents.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so the first one I got was anxious preoccupied. Now, between the two tests, the questions were very different. The first one I did was like, did your parents love you when you were younger? And then the one that you sent us was like a lot different. It was more like generalized.
Yeah.
So, basically with anxious preoccupied, they kind of explain it as when you were a child, there was one parent that was kind of emotionally available to you, and the other one wasn't. So there wasn't a whole lot of like emotional support, and I can attest to that. When I was younger, like my dad was somewhat emotionally available, but he struggled because I wasn't a boy, right? And he didn't understand my emotions. And my mom was very closed off with her emotions, at least when I was younger. Like when I would cry and get emotional, like she would tell me to stop crying, like quit your crying, like why are you crying? And so I never like felt safe expressing my emotions until like a much later age. And my relationships with my parents have changed drastically since then, but based on my childhood, yeah, I think that shaped how I kind of go about relationships, whether it's family, friends, romantic relationships, I constantly feel like I'm going to be abandoned. And my parents are also divorced, so I feel like that might have something to do with it as well. But yeah, I always feel like I'm going to get abandoned, and I'm always anxious that nobody likes me, no one truly likes me. You know, you're lying, you don't want to be around me. I care more about other people than my own self. I'm a people pleaser, and I feel like that comes from just constantly wanting and craving that emotional support as a young child and not getting it. And so I'm kind of like trying to overcompensate now as an adult. So that in relationships can suck because you can go, oh, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? And they go, of course I do. Here's why. And you go, I don't believe you. Like, there's no way. Why would you love someone like me? It doesn't make sense. And so that can get a little bit tricky when you need constant reassurance, and maybe they get fed up because you just need it all the time, and they're like, I do love you, like what is wrong with you? So that's definitely been a little bit of a hindrance in the past with me. And I also have, like, in my adult life, struggled to just like make friends and feel okay about that, because again, I just constantly feel like nobody truly likes who I am. And mixed in with a little BPD, where I just kind of make
just a little
sprinkle.
I just like constantly am changing my personality to who I'm speaking with at the time. So yeah, there's that. And then my other one that I got with the quiz you gave us was fearful avoidant. Fearful, you maybe feel like you're trapped or confined in the relationships that you're in, and you kind of flip-flop back and forth, one being like you really, really want their love and their attention, and the next moment you're like, get away from me, I'm suffocating. And I 100% can attest to that, because one day I'll be like, oh, I'm so alone, nobody loves me, and then the next day I'm like get the fuck away from me. Literally, do not touch me. I will kick you in the balls. So I can definitely agree with that. Fearful avoidant, instead, they are overwhelmed by their reactions and often experience emotional storms. They tend to be mixed up or unpredictable in their moods. They see their relationships from the working model that you need to go towards others to get your needs met. But if you get too close to others, they will hurt you. In other words, the person they want to go to for safety is the same person they are frightened to be close to. As a result, they have no organized strategy for getting their needs met by others. And it also makes it harder when you have BPD because it's just another layer to that. They may cling to their partner when they feel rejected, when they feel trapped, then feel trapped when they are close. Oftentimes, the timing seems to be off between them and their partner. People with this attachment style have trouble trusting others. Often that's because they may have had a turbulent childhood, perhaps due to physical or emotional abuse, or even just significant chaos in the home. So like fighting parents, that kind of thing. However, a lot of fearful avoidance also had one caregiver who was present and emotionally available at times.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I definitely would say I'm like a healthy mix of both.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
And like with these two, it's like you kind of pick what resonates and like
It's true.
and it's like mostly just to be aware of it. Like
it's like zodiac signs for your mental health.
Yeah.
right? You take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And it also is like, oh shit, that makes too much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh.
I
Is
am.
anybody else fearful avoidant?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody else anxious, preoccupied?
Nope.
How do you find it's like, I don't know, you said pros and cons, so I'm trying to think of like.
Well, I would say like, and a pro too for like anxious is also like you can really connect with people. Like you can really make people feel seen and you can be that person for other people that you didn't get. And like that is a really beautiful thing because you have the capability that like someone who is more avoidant maybe wouldn't have. Because like, so it's not like, and these things like they're not all bad.
At the same time though, sometimes I feel like I get along with people in that way because I'm like masking the entire time. And so I'm like, is it genuine?
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it is in my heart. I feel like I truly do want to know you as a person, but then I'm like, I go home and I'm like, why did I act like that? Is that really who I am? Or did I just make that person up as like a character to be that who I need to be with that specific person?
Yeah. And that's a good like reflection to like go into.
It sucks
too.
being self-aware.
Oh,
Yeah.
trust me, dude.
hate
I literally every single day after every conversation.
Yeah.
But you know, narcissists aren't self-aware, and that at least you're not a narcissist.
Yeah, so I have this fucking notes
Whips out
here.
the
I don't have to
notes.
read it all, but yeah, so mine's fearful, avoidant. Well, this was the one that came up the most on the quizzes that I did because I thought I'd be anxious for sure because I have anxiety disorder, but turns out no, you're just avoiding everything.
Just with a sprinkle of anxiety disorder on top.
But the ones that I really resonated with was for sure like the childhood chaos because I didn't have physical abuse, but I had verbal abuse in my household. So take some, you lose some.
Yep.
Fear of commitment, 100%. Overthinking in relationships and also over analyzing people in friendships as well. And I do that all the fucking time, which is so fucking annoying. The next, I'll emotionally check out of a relationship before ending. And I've done this in every single relationship. And I did it for an entire year once.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah,
it happens.
So fuck. And then just scared of big commitments for sure. Like even big examples like having a child and like marriage, like two things I never want to do because it's scary. And then it just like cuts off deeper connections because obviously you can't like get deeper with someone if you're just like cutting shit off. And then just basically just like keeping feelings to myself, like emotionally like pent up and then boils over. And then never fully lets my guard down, which is literally me. And not comfortable with vulnerability. Love all of it. I see no pros in any of this at all. I hate it all.
Yep.
So here we are.
Oh.
It's like my therapist will hear about this.
Yeah.
But I think my like biggest takeaway was like, okay, yes, I'm like understanding this, I'm recognizing this, and I'm recognizing it recently a lot in my relationships as well. I'm just struggling with, okay, I recognize it, but what do I do about it now?
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, you're great at seeing what the fuck you're doing wrong, but what now? You know what I mean?
No,
So-
truly.
I totally relate to that.
unless, sorry, do you
No,
have anything
go
else?
for it.
Okay, because I kind of have a segue. There was something, because I also got fearful avoidant. Definitely had chaos in the household, but it is what it is. Very symbolic at this point in my life, because it's a yeah, but anyways, I found something that was, how do you deal with fearful avoidant attachment? So how to cope, obviously take it with a grain of salt. This was a very loose Google search with these answers, but the last one is kind of a gut punch. The first one's encourage openness, but don't push it. People with fearful avoidant attachment deeply desire intimacy, but it's like hard to like get to. Be reassuring, value yourself, define boundaries, understand your instincts, and the last one, consider therapy. And I was like,
literally,
fair enough, you know what I mean?
But you know what the shitty thing is, though, is you can go to your therapist and be like, hey, I see X, Y, and Z in myself, and they'll be like, yeah. And how do you feel about that?
I'm like actual shit. Thank you.
Like,
do something.
Like, I'm dying and I'm losing everyone.
No, literally.
Fuck, like, give me something, man.
I know, it's such a tough thing, because it's like, I was asking Emily this question because I feel like this topic has been on my mind today, but I'm excited to see, or I'm curious to see, when we will reach a point in our lives, if there is such a point, where these aren't such prominent themes in our lives. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I was saying it with a better happen or I swear to God kind of vibe, but it's just kind of like, it'll be really curious to look back and be like, I don't switch how I feel about my partner every 3 days. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like that's mostly how it manifests for me, is like, really, I say this often, but I don't know if I'm talking myself into something or talking myself out of something. And I feel like that shows up in a lot of places. And I was looking at my partner yesterday and I was like, I love you like so much. I just feel like we're on the same page. And he just like kind of like like, not in a mean way, but we're very honest and we have a lot of like open conversations, but he kind of like chuckled or like scoffed. And I was like, what? Like, asshole? I was like, it was because 3 days ago I was like, we're not on the same page. I feel like I don't even know you anymore. You know? Like,
Story of my fucking life.
Right? And it goes between like very like feeling secure to feeling super fucking distant, and also then me wanting to like withdraw and being like, oh my God, I just woke up in a bed with a stranger, you know? Like, what am I doing? We live together. So it's like a weird little mix. But yeah, I had an epiphany today too, about how like fearful avoidance shows up in other places of my life. And you were talking about, Jean, never letting your guard down, and I was telling you guys this earlier, but I cannot remember the last time I just like drove my car in peace and didn't, for quote unquote like my own safety, think of all the bad fucking things that could happen if I wasn't like 100% vigilant. And that's what sparked the whole, like, I wonder when we'll hit the point where like our brains don't work that way. You know what I mean? I have a question. Fuck pros and cons, honestly. I'm like, I'm just supporting myself, valuing myself, and also recognizing when I'm a complete asshole, because it's got to be a lot to deal with. But, did you guys feel the need to like lie on your tests, kind of? And I asked this because sometimes they're just weird and funny, but for me, the test was very much so like geared towards like a monogamous relationship and talking about like jealousy and stuff, and like it didn't apply to me in the way that they were hoping it would apply to me.
It felt very black and white.
It was very.
And
like,
how did the attached one on that book, how was that different? Because I took it a long time ago, but was that one more geared toward like
the first one I took, not the one you sent?
The one I sent, was that one better or worse answering the questions? Like, was it more geared towards monogamous?
It was just more general. Thank you, general.
Okay.
Whereas like the first one I did was like, did your mom love you when you were a child? Did she support you emotionally? And this one was just more broad and like
which I feel like can be good.
But they both spoke very monogamous.
And like heteronormative also too.
That's like the big one.
Right? It was so interesting, because then you think of like 40 and things too, like wanting to like fuck your opposite sex parent and like, you know what I mean? And like how they play into the face you just gave me is disgusted. But that theory, like supporting these weirdly specific questions about like, did your mom treat you like a little princess or a little big boy? You know, like, I don't know. Like, it's just like you can see where they're leading you and you're choosing to answer.
And you're like, okay, I'm just gonna identify with this one.
Yeah, it's like I have my rationale.
Yeah.
But
well, sorry.
oh, I was just gonna say, but to actually ask the question, did you guys feel the need to lie during your tests at all? To suit your own
Only on
reality?
answers that I was like, I'm a piece of shit. Because it was like, one was like, how do you like support your partner when like they have an issue? And it's like, walk the complete other direction and leave the conversation. I was like, yep, that's me.
Like,
let's not talk about that one.
Yeah, buy them flowers.
Yeah, literally shower them with gifts and then avoid the problem. Love that for me.
Gold star.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like lied. I definitely felt weird. Like I was like, but like I don't know how to explain it. It was like, what situation are we talking about? This could change on any given day.
Yeah.
How do I answer that?
I feel like that comes from two places. Either one, knowing where it's going to lead and like refusing to allow it to happen, or two, having something like grounded in reality where you're like, this doesn't actually reflect me. But either way, we're avoiding the question.
Yeah,
definitely.
Bunch of avoidant bitches in a room. They might kiss. So, like,
and honestly,
they might.
As we like learn all of like new relationships and stuff, I feel like it's just bound to come out. Like even my partner the other day, she was like, we should go on a like just on a little like date, like go on a hike somewhere. I love hiking. I love going on a date. That's like our thing. It's so fun. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm busy. Like I was literally like, and I didn't even realize it until I hung up the phone and I was like, I don't know, like work is just so crazy. Like I got to check my schedule. I think I'm so busy. And then I was like, what the fuck? Like I am just like totally, because she was like, oh, it's just like a nice way for us to connect. Totally. It really is a good way for us to connect.
Connect not. That was supposed to be a funny joke.
Disconnect.
After I was like, you know, I probably could like find a day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but my first instinct was just be like, no.
Yeah.
I feel like I do that less in relationships, but more with friends. And I don't know why. I don't know if I think it's more of an emotional commitment that, and with romantic relationships, it's not. But when friends are like, you want to hang? I'm like, no.
This is me once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks. But I'm driving home and I'm getting to the point where I'm like pretty much passing where Maddie lives. Bring. Hi, how are you? That's Maddie, by the way. And I'm like, good. I'm like, you're coming over and we're gonna go do yoga at 6:45. Really? And I'm like, yeah, it's gorgeous outside. I don't know, man. And I'm like, you're coming. I don't care. And we go back and forth for a little bit.
And then I'm like, well, I have to mow the lawn and fill all the toilet paper rolls and brush my ass hairs. I don't know. Anyway.
I'll give you a 50-50 though, because half the time we decide to go like stim in winters, which also we saw your partner one time twice.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
So funny.
She told me that.
But we'll go stim in winters after saying we're gonna have a picnic outside, because that's my other option. So I always say yoga or a picnic, or we drink in my living room, or we don't do anything.
But like, I love all of those.
Yeah, it's always fun. How does this show up in your relationships? When do you catch yourself being like, oh, ding dong?
Anytime any partner wants to have a conversation. Honestly, anytime any person in my life wants to have a genuine conversation about literally anything, I'm like, I'm just gonna go. I physically will like move out of a like room. It's like so fucked up. I'm literally like, I cannot just like have a conversation with someone about like what's going on. Like I'm like, what the fuck is going on with me?
It's so weird though, because I think you're like the best communicator that I've ever met.
You
so just like I make people perceive that.
Yeah, exactly.
You play it off really well because you're like super thoughtful and very, very grounded and very honest.
Yeah. I think it's because I show up in other people's lives better than like I allow myself to like show up in, or the other way around.
Yep.
Or like, yeah, like I'm a better like communicator with like other people's problems. Like for example, if someone were to like vent to me, and like I've had so many people be like, I'm just so comfortable to like say whatever to you. But then like when it's vice versa, I'm like, I'm awkward and I don't want to tell you literally anything.
Yeah, but I am dying. Just know that much.
Yeah, but I know for sure, I knew like in my past relationship, he was for sure an anxious attachment. And I knew that because like right at the beginning of the relationship, the red flags were heart-shaped, but he was like crying to me, being like, never leave me, like, please don't leave me, like all this stuff. And like that caused me to like back away.
Yeah.
Like it immediately was like, this is too fucking much for me. Like, no.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you need to be chill
Yeah.
or else this isn't going to work.
Yeah. Otherwise I will run away.
Right. Literally run away.
It's like too much, and it's just
Yeah.
You already have an escape plan always.
Always.
Looking at the door.
Literally looking at the door. Like
Yeah.
I'll get my way out for sure. But yeah, I think I've been into relationships with like each type for
Yeah,
sure.
you
So
think?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know.
And it can change per relationship.
Yeah. Definitely. Like I think in my younger days, I was probably a little bit more anxious because I think I was just like more open. And then like as the trauma set in, now I'm like completely avoidant. So
Yeah. No, literally. We had so much courage, I feel like, when we were younger too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think my partner is mostly secure, a little bit fearful. Which is like I feel like I'm similar, you know?
Mhm.
So it's like a lot same shit, different pile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like yelling. He
Yeah.
gets scared.
Yeah.
Partner's attachment
Oh.
styles.
Honestly, I'm not sure what he would be.
Let's dissect it right now. Let's all vote.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well,
Um,
I like yelling. He doesn't like yelling. I like fighting. He doesn't like fighting.
tell me about his parents.
Yeah.
Oh, whew.
Oh,
In his
what his mom.
in his childhood or currently?
Childhood.
From what I can pick up on, it was very much like, you're a man, don't share your emotions. I feel like his mother was very expectant of him, but also doting in the way like too much, like did everything for him. So he
Yeah.
was a little baby boy.
Oh.
Oh,
Anyway,
she said it.
which obviously shows today very much so. I really honestly feel like neither of his parents would be emotionally there for him when he was a kid, if I'm thinking about it, because his dad's very shy and reserved, and I feel like he never really talked about his emotions with his mom as a child. But I also don't know 100%. So I don't know. And they're also divorced. And they also fought a lot. And they also talk shit about each other. So I don't know. There's just a lot of variables there.
So many
Mhm.
variables.
So many.
I'm gonna say
I don't think it's anxious because he literally could care less.
I
Yeah.
kind of think
he doesn't
avoidant.
cling. I was
Actually.
gonna say
it's
avoidant
probably
and a little bit of like fearful.
Yeah, I think avoidant the most because he's like, hey, like,
Mhm.
sit your ass down
Mhm.
and
And
talk to me about your
confront you.
feelings.
Yeah,
and he's like,
literally.
no.
Yeah.
Because
That's
he never.
me.
You're like,
Absolutely
bye.
fucking
Goodbye.
not.
Goodbye.
No, thank you. I'm fine.
I just want to be your therapist for a day. I just wanna
Honestly,
know.
go for it. Like it's dark in my head, so it's a fun little journey for you.
Right.
Field trip through G's brain.
Field
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
You know what? Something is also part of my epiphany today. When I was younger, whenever I would get scared, like right after I
Mhm.
watched a scary movie, and you know
Mhm.
how like running up the stairs was like the floor is lava.
Mhm.
You get
I'm
up the
still
stairs.
terrified.
Yeah.
You get into the light as soon as possible. And when you
Yeah.
sleep, feet covered by the blankies.
Yeah.
There was a point where I was like, you know what? Fucking La Llorona was if she was gonna kill me, she
Yeah.
would kill me already. Like
Yeah.
I would be dead.
Mhm.
It wouldn't happen this far.
Like
It
she's
wouldn't-
not waiting for the special
Yeah,
moment.
Like I've
Yeah.
had plenty of moments with my fucking pants around my ankles. Like she had her chance.
Definitely.
I'm not gonna die. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And like did that with the scary up the stairs. It didn't always work, but when it did, it was a little bit like invigorating.
And you're like,
Mhm.
be quiet and walk slowly.
Yeah, and you like force yourself to like power through it because
Mhm.
watch, nothing's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
you were saying, do it, pussy.
Yeah.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I feel like it's a good little kind of full circle for when you get skilled.
I still
or
have to sleep with
this.
something in my ears.
Really?
I'm terrified. Mostly because I've been hallucinating the past couple months.
Aye.
It's gone away, guys. Don't worry. I'm fine. But I also have a horrible fear of someone breaking in my house. So I think if I put headphones in my ears, they will not break in.
Love that. Logic.
That's
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
if I think I'm gonna get my car's gonna break down, somehow I'll see the signs early enough to stop.
Yeah.
me, you know.
It makes no logical sense, and
No.
I know that,
No.
self-aware. But I
Mhm.
can't. I can't bring myself to just sit in a quiet house trying to sleep with
Yep.
all the sounds.
Yep.
And my house is haunted, so I don't need that extra layer on top of it.
Mm.
So yeah, I still have to sleep with something in my ears.
Your therapist comes in and asks, and did you was your house loud while you were trying to sleep as a child?
Like, did you feel safe going to sleep?
Yeah, right. We're like, it's just haunted. It's fine.
Yeah.
TikToks where the, like your therapist tells you you're bipolar and it's not a Cancer moon. You
Yeah.
know, and you're like,
Yeah.
No,
Damn.
literally, I was talking about this with Armani the other day, and I was like, "Bro, I'm still hallucinating." But we're just gonna chalk it up to spirituality because it makes me feel better.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
astral projection. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a can of worms, but it's fine.
Comments, queefs, concerns.
Comments, peeps, concerns.
And we've got a guest. Welcome, Sonia.
This is our editor.
Yeah.
She makes the magic look
She,
good.
yeah, literally, Maddie said it correctly that we need her more than she needs us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
stoked to be here. Stoked to be working with you guys. This has been so much fun. Yeah, I love like what you guys are doing, and I honestly really enjoy editing all the episodes because they're really funny and relatable. Like the astrology one was really cool last week. That's not out yet, but
Soon.
I'll tell a quick story about what happened in my place in Victoria, where I lived with 2 roommates. There was a package delivered to our door addressed to a Darby.
Darby, if you're listening, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Darby. But also next time, get your address right.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, and we were just like, oh, like eventually we'll go around the neighborhood and see if we can figure out whose package this is, because it was under our postal code, but our address. And 6 months went by and we never did that. And one day I came home and I was like, fuck it, I need to see what's in these packages.
Yes.
And it was a bunch of sex toys from Adam and Eve.
Shit, you
Oh,
waited that
yeah.
long to open a package? I
Yeah.
do not have the patience.
Well, it wasn't
Right.
ours.
Fair
There's
enough.
like law involved.
You're like,
Yeah.
this is fraud, but honestly, fuck it.
Yeah.
Because after 6 months,
Yeah, it's yours now at that point.
Most of the time when you get weird mail, it's like Sirius XM trying to contact you, or like,
Yeah.
been trying to reach you regarding your car's extended warranty. You know what I mean? Like, it's just bullshit. But for it to be sex toys,
I
oh,
know.
that's
I
really
literally screamed.
Yeah.
And my roommate was in her room and she came out and she was like, what are you going on about? And I was like, come here. And then we split them up between the 3 of us.
So like walk
So
us through like what was
nice.
in the box.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there was one that was like a pink, like rubber, what is this called?
Silicone?
Silicone.
Yeah. And it had it was battery powered, so there was a little battery in the back.
Wow.
And it was smaller than this, quite a bit smaller, so maybe like that
It's like
big.
3 inches.
Yeah, and then there was a bigger one that was like the fancy one, and it was like app controlled, and it was like kind of like this but smaller also, but like it had the little I don't know what you call that thing, the
Little
clip
rabbit
thing.
kinda.
I don't
Yeah.
oh yeah. So,
something-
what kind of dildo would that be?
What you're describing sounds like a rabbit dildo. So like something
Yeah.
for penetration and something for clit
Mm.
stimulation.
Yeah, yeah.
This looks like it goes inside of you as a strap. What's
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
our table, right?
Yeah.
You're like picturing
I'm learning so much.
And so, thoughts? How did you like them?
My one roommate, she really had been wanting for a while a rechargeable USB dildo because she only had a battery powered one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there was only one USB one, which is the fancy one. So I was like, you can have that one.
Aw.
She said, I already have a USB one. But I wanted like the medium size, like
Yeah.
pink one. And then there was this other like tiny little bullet one. And my third roommate actually has been wanting a smaller one because the only one that she has is huge. And she was like, it's too big sometimes. So it kind of worked out. We all got what we needed.
There you go.
awesome.
It's like the 3 bears.
Seriously.
Yeah, they all fit just right.
Yeah, right? Everyone's
God.
orgasming in their own room.
Yeah, at the same time. Energy match.
The whole house protection spell.
Oh no.
Sex
Yeah.
magic.
I love that. That's
That's
amazing.
Awesome.
Serendipitous if I ever did see it, you know?
You got what you
It's meant
needed
to
when
be.
you needed it.
Yeah, the universe really said sexual energy.
Yeah,
You,
right.
you girls are working too hard. You'll
Yeah,
Take a load off.
Exactly.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.